Here's the rule for using semicolons with main clauses. Use a semicolon to link closely related main clauses.
Link main clauses? I thought main clauses were like complete sentences, separated by periods. For instance, this is a main clause, period, so is this, period.
That's right.
So I can replace a period with a semicolon? This is a main clause, semicolon, so is this.
You can.
Why would I do that?
You wouldn't, unless the sentences were closely related, and linking them helped to clarify your point.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Well, suppose I want to compare two ideas, or facts, or pets. My cool cat Percy and my crazy dog Muggs. Here's a great way to help your readers see what you mean. First, write a sentence about Percy.
Percy yawns and leaves the room when I come home.
Then write a similar sentence about Muggs.
Muggs wags his tail and jumps in my lap.
Now combine the sentences by replacing the period with a semicolon.
Percy yawns and leaves the room when I come home, semicolon, Muggs wags his tail and jumps in my lap. I see. So the semicolon says, pay attention, the second part of this sentence will relate closely to the first part.
Exactly. Percy yawns and leaves. Muggs wags and jumps. It's easy to see how they differ. Let's look at another sentence pattern that will grab the reader's attention. First, write a main clause using don't or didn't.
I don't like semicolons. Muggs didn't bark at the burglars.
Good. Now add a semicolon to each and state a positive.
To tell what I do like or what did happen?
Right.
I don't like semicolons, semicolon. I love them. Muggs didn't bark at the burglars, semicolon. He bit them. I like that. The first part kind of fools the reader, so the second part packs a bigger punch. A negative, and then a surprising positive.
Exactly.
Okay. So the semicolon is made of a period and a comma, and in a way it acts a little like both.
Nice. When you proofread, ask yourself, if I replace the semicolon with a period, would I have two complete sentences, one on each side? The answer should be yes.
I don't like semicolons, delete semicolon, add period. I love them. Muggs didn't bark at the burglars, delete semicolon, add period. He bit them. Couldn't I replace the semicolon with a word like but? Muggs didn't bark at the burglars, delete semicolon, add comma, but he bit them.
Sure. You can do that with any of the coordinate conjunctions. And, but, or, for, nor, so, yet. And yes, in most cases, you drop the semicolon if you use one of those words.
What do you mean, in most cases?
Well, if one of your main clauses contains commas, you can leave the semicolon in or stick with the comma, depending on what you think will help the reader.
So I could keep the semicolon here? Muggs didn't bark at the burglars, semicolon or comma, but he bit one on the arm, comma, another on the leg, comma, and a third in a place that will make it hard for the man to sit down.
That is gruesome, but correct. You have a choice in cases like this. And that brings up an important point. You need to choose wisely to avoid a few semicolon traps. Use a semicolon when you want to create some sparks by connecting two sentences. Suppose you ask someone to dance and she laughs at you.
That would never happen.
Humor me here. Listen to the jolt this connection causes. Compare this. I asked her to dance, comma, but she wasn't really all that polite and started laughing. With this, I asked her to dance. She laughed in my face. Here, avoiding but and using a semicolon increases the sudden shock. But you don't always want sparks, and sometimes there just aren't any. I asked for a pencil. She didn't have one.
How tragic.
Yeah, the semicolon isn't wrong, but you should ask yourself, is this the best place to use it?
I see. If I use them all the time, they have less power at key moments. The way that someone who constantly screams at you can't get your attention.
That's right. Here's another trap. Always make sure readers can see the relationship between the two parts of your sentence. Look at this sentence.
Percy was very sick. I did all my homework.
Here you've left out too much. Is your cat's illness inspirational? If you want me to feel guilty because you were doing schoolwork when you really should have been taking Percy to the vet, you need to make that a bit more clear.
So could I add a word like however or moreover, therefore or thus?
Well, yes, you could add a word like that, but would you really say, Percy was very sick, thus I did all my homework? Does Percy feel better when you study?
Okay. How about Percy was very sick, semicolon, nevertheless, comma, I did all my homework.
Perfect. Just remember that you need a semicolon, not a comma, with words like nevertheless, however, therefore, and thus, words we call conjunctive adverbs. They can't link main clauses with a comma the way words like and, but, and so can. One last trap. Don't automatically insert a conjunctive adverb. Sometimes, as we just saw, you need one. Other times your meaning is clear without them, and they can make your sentence sound ridiculous, like this.
My girlfriend broke up with me, semicolon, consequently I feel awful. Yeah, it sounds weird. Only a robot would say that.
Yeah, you've got it. So remember,
use a semicolon to link closely related main clauses.